There's a special kind of smugness that comes from being a clean person, right? You scrub, you sanitize, you make your bed the second your feet hit the floor. But what if all that righteous effort is just marinating you in your own filth? Today, we're looking at the squeaky clean habits that secretly make you gross. Let's get right into it. Number 8, the bacterial loofah party. Ah, the loofah, that colorful, fluffy mesh ball hanging in your shower. It's the symbol of a superior bathing experience, a tool for achieving ultimate, squeaky clean skin. You lather it up, scrub away the day's grime, and emerge feeling like a freshly polished Grecian statue. Except, what you've actually done is scrub yourself with a microscopic swamp monster. Think about what your loofah does. It diligently scrapes off your dead skin cells. But where do those cells go? They get tangled up in the loofah's thousands of tiny, tightly woven plastic fibers. Now add water, warmth, and the dark, humid environment of your post-shower bathroom. Congratulations, you've just created a 5-star, all-inclusive resort for bacteria, mold, and yeast. Every time you leave that loofah hanging, you're basically inviting every germ in the vicinity to an all-you-can-eat buffet of your own discarded flesh. Within hours, that innocent-looking puffball becomes a thriving metropolis of microbes. We're talking Staphylococcus, Streptococcus, and all their fun, infection-causing cousins. So the next day, when you go to clean yourself, you're not really exfoliating. You're just grabbing this germ-infested party sponge and smearing yesterday's microscopic gunk all over your body, potentially rubbing it into any tiny nicks or cuts from shaving. Basically, you're paying to exfoliate with a colony of your own filth. Number 7 is your cozy Mite hotel. From the moment we're old enough to understand chores, we have it drilled into our heads: make your bed. A neatly made bed is the cornerstone of a tidy room, a sign of a disciplined mind, the first victory of the day. It's also a 5-star invitation for millions of tiny arachnids to throw a non-stop festival in your sheets. Meet the humble dust mite. These microscopic creatures, related to spiders, are your permanent roommates, and their favorite food is the dead skin flakes you shed constantly. There are likely over 1 million of them in your bed right now, just chilling. They love warmth, humidity, and darkness, the exact conditions you create when you pull your duvet up nice and tight first thing in the morning. By making your bed, you're tucking them in for the day, trapping all the body heat and moisture from your sleep, and creating a perfect, humid paradise for them to eat, breed, and, well, produce waste. On the other hand, a messy, unmade bed is a dust mite's worst nightmare. When you throw the covers back and leave the sheets exposed to air and light, you're creating a dry, arid desert. The mites become dehydrated and perish. So, that unkempt, chaotic pile of sheets is actually a more hygienic, mite-hostile environment. Your childhood self was a secret genius of hygiene. All that time you thought you were being lazy, you were actually committing microscopic genocide for the sake of your health. Number 6 is the cotton swab deception. What's one of the most satisfying, yet vaguely forbidden, feelings in personal hygiene? For millions, it's that little exploratory dig in your ear with a cotton swab. It feels like you're doing some deep canal spelunking, courageously excavating all the gunk that's built up in there. The little yellow stain on the cotton tip is your trophy, proof of a successful mission. In reality, that trophy is a participation award for failing spectacularly. Your body produces earwax or cerumen for a reason. It's not dirt, it's a self-cleaning security system. It's waxy, sticky, and slightly acidic, making it a perfect trap for dust and debris while also being naturally antibacterial. Your ear is designed to handle this. Through the natural movement of your jaw from talking and chewing, the old wax is slowly, constantly pushed from the inside out, where it flakes off or gets washed away. It's a beautiful, self-regulating process. Then you come along with your little stick of paper and cotton, convinced you know better. Instead of cleaning, you're acting like an old-timey cannon operator, using the swab as a ramrod to pack the majority of that wax deeper into the canal. The tiny bit you see on the tip is just the leftover debris from the impaction you just created. Do this enough, and you create a dense, waxy plug right up against your eardrum, which can lead to hearing loss, tinnitus, and infections. You're effectively taking your ear's natural garbage disposal system and intentionally clogging the drain, all for that fleeting, phantom feeling of being clean. Number 5 is the post-meal acid bath. You just finished a lovely breakfast, complete with a glass of orange juice. Being the diligent, orally fixated person you are, you immediately march to the bathroom to brush your teeth. You scrub away any hint of food, feeling refreshed and ready to face the world with plaque-free confidence. You might as well have just scrubbed your teeth with a lemon-scented Brillo pad. Here's the deal. When you consume acidic foods or drinks, like citrus, soda, coffee, or tomatoes, the pH level in your mouth drops dramatically. This acid bath temporarily softens the protective enamel on your teeth, making it vulnerable and mushy, kind of like wet drywall. Your body's natural defense is your saliva, which slowly goes to work neutralizing the acid and helping your enamel reharden, a process that takes about 30 to 60 minutes. But you, in your hygienic haste, don't wait. You go in there with a bristly brush and abrasive toothpaste while your enamel is at its absolute weakest. Instead of just brushing away food particles, you're physically scrubbing off microscopic layers of your softened enamel. Doing this day after day is a one-way ticket to tooth sensitivity and an express pass for cavities, because you're diligently thinning out the very armor that's supposed to protect your teeth. It's the oral hygiene equivalent of trying to polish a car by sanding it down to the bare metal. Number 4, breeding super-germs. In the modern world, a tiny bottle of hand sanitizer is basically a security blanket. We have them dangling from our backpacks, sitting in our cup holders, and mounted on every wall from the grocery store to the doctor's office. A little squirt and poof, you've created a sterile force field around your hands. You feel pure, you feel safe. But your skin's microscopic ecosystem is screaming in terror. Your hands are covered in a complex community of microorganisms known as your skin microbiome. Most of these little guys are either harmless or actively beneficial, acting as a living barrier that crowds out the genuinely dangerous pathogens. When you douse your hands in high-proof alcohol sanitizer, you don't just kill the one bad germ you might have picked up from a doorknob. You annihilate everything. It's a microbial apocalypse in the palm of your hand. This scorched earth approach leaves your skin's defenses crippled. By constantly wiping out your native, helpful bacteria, you create a vacant, undefended landscape. Now, the next nasty, aggressive pathogen that comes along has no competition. It finds a wide-open, prime piece of real estate to move into and set up shop. Furthermore, while alcohol sanitizers don't cause antibiotic resistance, the obsession with sterility they promote often goes hand in hand with overusing antibacterial soaps, which can contribute to the rise of resistant bacteria. You're not just cleaning your hands, you're meticulously cultivating a weaker, more vulnerable environment perfectly suited for the worst of the worst. Number 3, the greasy-haired feedback loop. There's a deeply ingrained belief in our culture that clean hair is hair that has been washed, without fail, every single day. The thought of skipping a shampoo session might fill you with the fear of becoming a greasy, socially unacceptable mess. So you dutifully lather, rinse, and repeat, keeping your scalp in a state of perpetual, squeaky clean purity. The irony is that your obsessive washing is the very reason you feel like a greaseball in the first place. Your scalp isn't dirty by default. It's a sophisticated organ that produces a natural, waxy oil called sebum. Sebum is your hair's built-in conditioner and protector. It keeps your hair moisturized, strong, and healthy. When you blast it with harsh shampoos every day, you strip away this entire protective layer. Your scalp, in a state of pure panic, thinks, drought, famine, all the essential oils are gone. Its response is to crank up the oil production into emergency overdrive to try and replace what was lost. This kicks off a vicious cycle. Your scalp overproduces oil, your hair feels greasy faster, so you wash it again to get rid of the grease, which signals your scalp to produce even more oil. You've essentially trained your own head to be an oil slick. You're not just cleaning your hair, you're in a toxic, codependent relationship with your shampoo, where your efforts to be less greasy are the direct cause of your greasiness. Number 2 is the reusable biohazard. You're trying to do the right thing. You're saving the planet from single-use plastics and staying hydrated by carrying a reusable water bottle everywhere you go. It's a symbol of health, environmental responsibility, and general life-togetherness. It's also, very likely, a portable swamp teeming with more bacteria than your dog's favorite slobber-covered toy. Every single time your lips touch the spout, you're backwashing a little sample of your mouth's entire bacterial population into the bottle. Inside that dark, damp container, those microbes find themselves in a paradise custom-built for reproduction. They multiply, creating thriving colonies on the inner walls, in the cap's threading, and especially in any complex straw or nozzle mechanisms. Over time, these colonies build a slimy, invisible protective matrix called a biofilm. It's like a microscopic city of germs, complete with its own defensive walls, hunkered down inside your water bottle. Don't believe me? Researchers have swabbed the average reusable bottle and found it can host hundreds of thousands, even millions, of colony-forming units of bacteria per square centimeter. For reference, that's often more than the average toilet seat. So while you're congratulating yourself for getting your 8 glasses a day, you're also chugging a refreshing beverage seasoned with a hearty, homegrown bacterial soup. Suddenly, single-use plastic doesn't seem so bad, does it? Just kidding, wash your bottle, please. And at number 1, we have the sponge of doom. What is the single most useful tool for cleaning up messes in your kitchen? That humble, porous, brightly colored rectangle sitting by your sink, the kitchen sponge. It wipes up spills, scrubs your dishes, and keeps your countertops sparkling. It is the champion of clean. And it is, without a doubt, the single filthiest, most disgustingly germ-infested object in your entire home. A kitchen sponge is the perfect storm of grossness. It's porous, giving it an enormous surface area for microbes to cling to. It's almost always damp, creating the ideal humid environment for bacterial growth. And you are constantly feeding it by wiping up food particles. The result? Your sponge becomes a dense, thriving jungle of bacteria. We're not talking about a few harmless germs. We're talking about concentrations of up to 54 billion bacteria per cubic centimeter, including delightful pathogens like E. coli, Salmonella, and Campylobacter, especially if you've recently wiped up juices from raw meat. When you take this bacteriological bomb and wipe it across your clean countertop, you are not cleaning. You are engaging in a strategic redeployment of filth, spreading a diverse army of germs over every surface you touch. Studies have consistently shown that the kitchen sponge is a more potent source of fecal bacteria than your toilet bowl. So next time you give your counter a quick wipe down, just picture yourself using a tiny, bacteria-soaked mattress to do it. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.